Good afternoon. This is Cognizant Financial Services Analyst and Advisor series. Welcome to the series. My name is Nageswar. I'm responsible for the banking, capital markets, and insurance business unit for Cognizant. Here we have two of our friends, Andy from NelsonHall and Vikrant, who runs banking business unit for Cognizant. And the idea is to understand, the whole core banking services and some of the perspectives that we want to hear from Andy on what he's seeing in the industry and how what is the perception of Cognizant and how we've been doing in this specific area of transforming core banking services, and also hear from Vikrant on what are some of the unique aspects of our services. So what are some of the unique solutions, unique accelerators that we have been able to bring to the table? So with that, Andy, if you could just share, a little bit of your interaction and also talk about the recent report that you've released on transforming the core banking services and what are some of the facets that you've looked at and how you see the industry moving in that direction.
Thank you, Nagesh. Yes, well, our conversations with banks have indicated that there is a growing interest in pursuing core banking transformation. We recently conducted a study of 120 banking executives. It was a study where 60 of them were in retail banking and 60 in commercial banking. And they clearly identified that core banking transformation is a high priority. We asked which of the technologies are important or very highly important to them and for making this transformation. And the one that came out highest was cloud technologies, with 98% of retail bankers and 95% of commercial bankers identifying it as an extremely high priority technology for them. There were others that had extremely high priority for them, but not as high as the cloud, which took number one position. We also asked them what part of the bank, which business lines needed transformation the most. And in retail banking, it was lending and core banking. In both of them, 55% of the executives responded that was a very high priority to transform those business units. In commercial banking, it was somewhat different, with payments and core banking, and that was at 35% of the responding executives, that was extremely high importance for them to transform those areas. So we conducted a global market assessment of the marketplace for transforming core banking services, and we identified three basic pillars and drivers of why they need to transform their banking operations. The first was business model transformation. So they're transforming the core banking platforms and operations in order to transform their business model going forward. That varies strongly by marketplace or geography. In Europe, the adoption, which is regulatory driven, for open banking is the transformation that is really driving core banking transformation. In the United States, it's a very different story. It's new product offerings. So you have new products. I'll pick the most recent in the headlines is crypto. The Trump administration is aggressively pushing for crypto to be adopted in the United States by the financial services industry. And that's a totally different set of taxonomies, a totally different set of challenges that requires real domain expertise. In order to accomplish that, again, you need to transform the platform and operations. And then finally, in the rest of the world, Asia Pac in particular, banking inclusion, bringing in new customers to the banks and new demographics of customers, many who were previously unbanked, is the primary driver across that, I say rest of the world, but that's an extremely heterogeneous set of marketplaces. And the leader, of course, in financial inclusion and the activities for transforming the banks there is the Indian marketplace. So that's the first pillar or first primary finding. The second primary finding is process automation or digitalization of processes. And the cost structure makes it difficult to continue moving forward in an area or in the financial services where cost pressure is driving down margins aggressively. But there's also the issue of banks having silos of businesses and silos of marketplaces, and being able to standardize and provide visibility, particularly for risk management, across a heterogeneous set of silos is driving aggressively into process automation. None of that can be accomplished effectively without artificial intelligence and moving forward Gen AI in order to be able to have standard visibility into an extremely heterogeneous environment of product offerings and geographies which are mostly impacted by heterogeneous set of regulations. And then the third pillar is customer experience. And again, that is driven by artificial intelligence and Gen AI in order to drive hyper-personalization, in order to drive a better shopping experience across a heterogeneous and continuously evolving set of products for the customer base, enabling that customer base not only to effectively shop an evolving set of financial product offerings, but even to understand what those financial product offerings and to reduce confusion by recommending product sets based on exhibited preferences is, again, critical to success in that story. So there are three primary goals for what the banks intend to accomplish. It requires scale, scope, and deep technological experience and delivery capability to achieve that.
Thank you very much, Andy. I'll probably come back to you and ask you in terms of how you see, from outside-in perspective, Cognizant helping some of the clients, right, based on your assessment, talking to the clients, talking to some of the other peers of ours, and also talking to our own teams, right? But before that, Vikrant, he talked about three key pillars. One is obviously the business model transformation, then the whole digitalization, process automation, and customer experience. So net, he talked about the whole new product launch and product-based operating models. This is evolving. So could you actually share on how we've been helping clients in terms of navigating through that whole environment of product-based operating model?
So I'll take a step back first of all, right? Because we can't just address this problem without understanding what the banks are trying to do holistically. Right?
Yes.
You talked about core modernization. Legacy modernization is something that the banks have been struggling for a long time right now. At the same time, if I talk to any CIO, whether it's a large bank, whether it's a regional bank, whether it's a credit union, the challenges are not just in modernizing their core. It is also to do with, let's say, the talent that is available right now, the plethora of products that are available in the marketplace, the kind of regulatory environment that they are in, the demands that they have from an innovation and a cost saving standpoint, right? The threat of cybersecurity that is constantly evolving right now. And then, of course, regulation, compliance, all of that stuff. So, if I talk to any of these CIOs or CTOs or business today, they are grappling with a whole set of things that they need to accomplish and still show value to their business of the IT spend that they're doing on a year-on-year basis. If you talk to any of the CIOs, they will constantly say that there is a huge pressure on their cost today because a lot of their money is being spent on BAU, on licenses, on infrastructure, on people, on just keeping lights on. And the amount that is being spent on innovation is becoming less and less today. So the first thing that we do whenever we go to any new client, I mean, many of our clients are, we've been supporting them for a number of years, so hardly anybody is new today for us. But the first thing that we try and understand is where are they in their journey from a transformation standpoint, right? If you talk about core banking, if you talk about a product-based kind of a approach that our clients want to take, what are they grappling with in terms of modernizing their legacy, right? Too much disruption can impact them very severely because at the end of the day, they also need to provide service to their customers, right? If they're too slow, then they lose out on competition, right? If they adopt the wrong technology and a wrong platform or a product that they are not able to integrate within their environment, then they wasted 2 or 3 years, spent millions of dollars, and that has got nowhere, right? So again, we take a holistic look at all of those things, right? We have a lot of partnerships also with whether it's products, whether it's platforms. We have specialized groups within Cognizant that are able to evaluate what is the right fit for the clients, right? And our approach is never to take a big bang approach, take something because it is world class, or whether it is industry standard, or whether it has worked in one bank or the other, but we try to look at fitment within a particular customer itself, right? So a lot of that analysis needs to happen in terms of what is the customer journey going to look like over the next 3 to 4 years? Where are they in their transformation journey today? And then we will do a holistic evaluation of many of the products and platforms that are available in the industry to see what is best fit for them, right? We will of course do some kind of a POC to make sure that, hey, this is the right fit for our customers. And then we will embark on that particular journey. So it's not a very simple answer to say, hey, these are the industry best, this will fit this particular customer. But based on the customer, based on their size, based on where they are in their journey, we will do a holistic analysis and only then come up with a solution that is best fit. Not only will we recommend a particular solution and walk away from that, but we will also make sure that we are implementing it for them. So we are not, providers who will just make recommendations, make suggestions, do some kind of a consulting and walk away from the solution, but we actually want to walk with them throughout the particular solution, right? And wherever we feel enhancements need to be made or integrations need to happen, we will recommend those well in advance and we will help the client through that particular journey. So the ROI that the customers have, committed to their business is something that we also hold dearly, and we take over some of those commitments as well. So our clients, when they work with Cognizant, they can expect a holistic solution. They can expect us to do POCs. They can expect those product partnerships to be brought to the table. They can expect us to do a holistic analysis and come up with what is the right recommendation, and then help them through the implementation journey also. That's the kind of, spectrum that clients can expect from us. That is why we not only live the problem, suggest the solution, but solve it for the clients as well.
Just one point there, right? Is there anything that is very unique about how we help accelerate the implementation or assessment of these various solutions or the capabilities? Are there things that we've done uniquely? Something that you can share how we've
See, a lot of that knowledge is institutionalized within Cognizant today, right? So that institutional knowledge, which is either tools or frameworks, reusable components that we have built, are readily available for our customers. So whenever we go to any client, It is not, hey, we are doing this for the very first time, but we are able to accelerate them through the journey by using all of those tools that are available to us.
Excellent. Thank you. So, Annie, you heard what Vikrant had to share in terms of, how we work with the client, not just provide them with a point solution, but look at holistically end to end. You shared, what was the response of the survey responses. So, what are the banks expecting from providers like, Cognizant, in terms of helping them go through this transformation journey? If you can share a couple of snippets, it'll be great.
Sure. So the first thing that they're looking for is an outcome, technologically speaking, that provides them with flexibility, because nobody knows what the next functionality set is going to come out, what the next regulatory requirement tweak is going to come out. So they need flexibility. That, I think, is the real reason why cloud is so important to them. It's not actually to move to the cloud, but the microservices environment that enables them to have the flexibility. So what are they looking for from vendors like yourself? They're looking for frameworks that they can select from, and you have those, and you have the Neuro suite. They're looking for domain expertise. Certainly they're looking for it for the financial services industry, but they're looking for more specific domain expertise, such as the regulatory requirements within German-speaking countries, the regulatory environments within French-speaking countries, the regulatory requirements within the United States, and to be able to knit that together across a set of geographic silos that enable them to create a brand consistency and a risk management transparency that would not be possible if you simply do it country by country, if you will. Same thing across lines of business. And then they're also looking to have a consistent customer experience across all of that. So those type of consistencies and managements, and bringing in partnerships, and you have a large partnership ecosystem, bringing in partnerships that can address each of those components and still provide emerging functionality for their business, to offer something that's differentiating for themselves in the marketplace.
I just want to piggyback on one of the things that you talked about, which is consistency. Every bank that we support today has n number of lines of businesses, right? And over the years, each of them have their own internal structure, their own applications that they have developed, their own tech stacks, right? Their own platform that they may have bought or integrated. Sometimes even mergers and acquisitions happen. So one challenge that I have seen across all of these banks is, what kind of framework that you want to adopt at the highest level and force everybody to adopt, which again takes away flexibility of every line of business, because everybody will say, hey, my business is different, like a retail bank or a commercial bank or wealth management. Everybody will say, hey, my customers' expectations are different from your customer expectations. So I need a different set of agility in my business or my applications. But some of the overarching issues that a CIO might face are the same, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it is cost, whether it is user experience. So breaking those silos and making sure that they continue to be agile, and making sure that common frameworks are adopted. I think that is another area which clients struggle with. And those are areas where, companies like Cognizant can play a huge part, because we see some of these challenges across every single client of ours, right? So first time when we go and meet with our clients, we try and understand how are they structured internally, right? Whether there are overarching frameworks, centralized organizations that dictate what their future strategy should be, and then individual CIOs adopt that, or are they broken into silos? Again, you can't solve the solution for one line of business and not go across all the others also. So that's a very important point of consistency married with flexibility that you talked about.
Perfect. No, thank you very much. Thanks for sharing your insights and looking forward to the next series. Thank you.